From the deep dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to start playing the game.
I'm Tabbytha, that was Nikodas, and up next is Grebog.
And good, my audio didn't change. Oh, yay! I still can be heard for now.
Yay!
Hooray!
Computer run program Fleet Action Report episode 240. Where do I restart?
Where do we
yeah,
go from here?
Yeah. Where do we go from here? Thank you everybody for tuning in, catching us either live or on YouTube. Just watching our videos, being here with us is support enough. So we do appreciate those that also subscribe. That helps us afford our Starship addiction. And stuff. And if you also want to, if you don't want to like subscribe on Twitch, you could go over to ko-fi.com/GREBOG and buy us a cup of coffee or whatever caffeinated beverage of choice we prefer. We would appreciate you. Yeah. So, Tabby, how's your week been?
Tabby gets the torch.
I get the torch with.
Hey, Tabby.
Yes.
Be careful catching that torch. You were showing your age a little bit back there a minute ago.
Oh, thanks. Anyway, actually, I haven't. I am wicked tired because I got hit with a migraine last night and woke me up at 3. So I've been up for a while. So after the show tonight, I'm probably just gonna go kerplunk. After I do the, I'm gonna try and do the thumbnail. Because we're actually gonna start doing thumbnails for the show for the video, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna try and get one done for the show tonight, and if I don't get it done, we'll start doing it next week. But other than that, I've been playing a lot. I've been doing school things. I've been rocking the photography, rocking the web design, and playing a lot of Valheim. I love that game so much. I get to be a Viking, just kind of running around and chopping down trees and shooting things with my bow and arrow and building things, and it's great. Grebog, how about you?
Let's see. This week, it's now warmer in my house. That's good. Even though it got colder outside the house. Let's see. What else? That was my main focus. But I've been doing my STO dailies. Though I did take 2 days off because, well, one day I wasn't feeling super, and the other day I just the chore that it felt to be to do the dailies. I just couldn't. That day I didn't have the mental acuity, mental fortitude. I don't know how you want to put it. You know, I just couldn't. I needed a me day. If that makes sense.
Totally fair.
I still playing WoW. My raid team's still farming the current content raid. Yeah. Did a couple mythic pluses. Did some other stuff. I haven't really done a whole lot. I don't know. But doing my dailies, doing my STO stuff. I haven't been farming the starship traits like I had been. So I'm not sure if I want to get back into that. But anyway,
why not? It's fun.
I mean, there's so many ships and not enough time. I gotta collect them all. What? Nikodas, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
School. Lots and lots of school. No, things are going okay. School has been taking a lot of time, but that's not important right now. Gaming wise, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. I've played a little bit of Magic the Gathering on MTG Forge and STO. I haven't even really been on WoW. It's pretty much been STO. I haven't played it a whole lot, but I did buy uh, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers Brotherhood, or Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, something like that. I didn't realize when that game was announced that it was going to be a RPG. Um, so I picked it up, hoping that it was similar to Super Mario RPG, and lo and behold, it is. It's
Oh,
even got kind of the same, or at least a very similar combat mechanic, where if you hit the right button at the right time, you either take less damage or deal more damage. Uh,
interesting.
you're basically taking a one large island that was shattered into many smaller islands and trying to put them back together, and I have done 2 of them.
So you're kind of a Humpty Dumpty story.
Uh, this, yes, from what I know so far, yes. Um, but yeah, it's a fun game. It's got some neat mechanics to it, and I'll see where it goes. But that's really been about it for me and my week. So how about this week in STO, Grebog?
So the patch notes. I'm going to take the first two because the first one's real small. Patch notes. Axiom, the newest mission, had several bugs and they have fixed it. It was things like some of the shards that you had to scan. They were like causing problems for various people, and apparently there was. We kind of noticed this, and they it sounds like they might have fixed it where if you're doing it with multiple people, you'll get stuck with Q Marque, like go talk to her things when someone else has already done it all, and they fixed it where it should now all stay synced. Um, yeah, so hopefully they fixed stuff like that. Let's see. Then the pulse phasers. They redid the visuals and the travel speed on them has been fixed as well. They say fixed. It's been increased by 400%. And watching the pulse phaser beams, I really like them. They look really cool. So, someone was running around and showing that off, and I need to get a hold of some. I think I might have some in a bank somewhere, and maybe this will be my pulse phaser captain. But anyway, so and then Mud's Market, they just added a bunch of 3 new things. The Chronogami Displacer console, that's a universal console. The Crystal Harmonics space set, and the T6 Hysperion Intel Battle Cruiser. Those 3 were all old event items. If you missed those events, you now can buy them on the in the Muds Market. Do note, only buy such things in the Muds Market when stuff is on sale. Which, hey, fancy that! They are currently doing a 75% off all individual items in the Mud store until the 25th. So you have 5 more days to take advantage of that if you are wanting to buy anything from Muds Market. I did notice that since I already have those items, that 2 of them show up as already purchased. Oddly, though, that the Chronogami Displacer console is not marked as that, and it says I can buy it, and yeah, it's interesting on how some of that will get marked as purchased for me, even though it's fine.
So the
All right. Oh, go ahead.
I thought we were like just kind of going around the table, so I was going to take it.
You're fine. Go.
Okay. R&D and junior officer event from 2/21. That is tomorrow through the 26th. R&D projects. So you're crafting grant an additional 50% XP, so it gets you leveled up all the faster. If you and so this is a great time to get those R&D skills up to 15 to get those extra traits, those extra bonus traits, which in some cases are really freaking good, and in some cases are even recommended for builds. And harvest nodes extra, and actually it's also a good time to work on if you have event characters, recruits. It's a great time to work on those tasks, which are those R&D tasks. Harvest nodes, extra materials, and 10 dilithium. So if you need a little bit of extra dilithium, you can go and harvest some nodes. Accommodation XP increased by 50%. So that's when you're doing your duty officer missions. You open your duty officer panel, send your little dudes and dudettes out there to complete some tasks and bring you back some sweet rewards. Well, that gives you extra 50% XP to level up the different categories of accommodations, and a one-time per captain. So per captain, not per count. Purple quality duty officer can be attained from the duty officer contact down at Starfleet Academy. I think it's like not like inside the duty officer building, but like when you beam down, you like turn right. He's like in the corner of the main academy building and near the water there. It's I think that's the exocomp if I remember correctly. But and I think that's a pretty good duty officer too. Particle scanning is back at the academies. I don't remember what good that does, but I think it's good for something.
You could, with the traces that you get, if you get 75, you can get a very rare, and then under that it's rare, uncommon, common. The more you get, the better you can turn in to get a better duty officer.
Oh, well, there you go. And 20% off all duty officer packs in the Zen store. So there are a number of like best in slot duty officers for different builds, like from the gamma quadrant pack and whatnot. So this is a great time to pick up one of those packs if you don't have them. If you're working on a particular build and you need a special duty officer from one of those packs, you can pick one up for 20% off.
Go ahead and grab the next one too.
Okay. And you can right now until the 25th. So you got 5 days, 20% bonus to Zen. So when you go to the website, buy some Zen to grab your shiny new starship, or even to pick up one of those DOF packs, you get extra Zen. So like buy Zen, get 20% extra, then buy some DOF packs for 20% off. That's a pretty sweet deal.
Or to stock up for the anniversary pack that will be coming.
Or stock up for the anniversary, or get the 20% bonus Zen, and then get the 75% off of Mud's Market. So that's kind of increasing your buying power there.
All right, so real quick here, we're going to talk about the anniversary because that event is still ongoing. You find that right here. Here is the prize that you get. You know, they say that this ship is supposed to be a combination between Federation and Klingon technology, but with this little thing right here on top, that kind of looks to me like the back end of a Dominion attack ship. But they say it's a mix between Federation and Klingon, so take that as you will. Anyway, that
looks like that kind of looks like your like it's a mission pod, and it looks like it kind of has some resemblance to Dominion, but it also it's also kind of a Klingon-ish mission pod. Like it shares lines with Dominion and Klingon.
That's fair.
Well,
I can
and
see that.
definitely the nacelle attach, like the struts and supports and that back there, is all about, Klingon.
The angles and the sharp angles and whatnot. Yeah, I get that. All right, so this event is going now until March 11th. You need 40 points to get the reward of the ship. And they changed the way that these points are earned. You used to be able to get them as 2 per day, which that's the same, but only Axiom was giving you 2 points. Everything else was 1. So they changed it so that all of the TFOs and the episode now reward 2 points. So you do one of them, you're done for the day. They added 2 patrols in, Out of Control and Unwanted Guest, that give 1 point each, and the Omega Particle Stabilization gives 1 point. So you can choose how to get your points now, and I think this is way better, honestly. Let's see, there is a party popper, which mine is acting a little weird here, but there's a little party popper you can get. It's still just a white cube. Like the image for it is gone, but it still works. And as soon as that counts down, I'll show it to you guys. But the only way to get that party popper is through the Omega Particle mission. And it also, like, you can get some, emotes that way if you turn those in.
Yes.
And then the reward for running Axiom the first time is a special or a special uniform. And now that's per character. So if you want it on multiple characters, you do have to run that episode multiple times. But yeah, they updated it to reward more points. So I'm okay with that.
Do note if you do the Omega Particle, it tells you to pick one of 3 options. Doesn't matter what you pick, you will get all 3 as the reward. This is a known feature. The devs don't seem to care. Yeah, because all it's doing is giving you, I think, 500 dilithium, 250k experience bonus pool token, and the party popper and a special emote. Though I think you get the party popper no matter what. That's not one of the choice, but like you're supposed to choose between a 25k experience point, a special emote, and then a random reward box. But you get all 3.
Yeah, Grebog, you can start us off on the primary target since that's your write-up, and I'll take over when you get to the HUD.
So some of us, we tend to take breaks from the game, and that is definitely fine. But when you come back, sometimes you have this question like, I've been gone for a while. What am I supposed to, like, what in the universe should I really be doing here? And this really comes down to a little bit on you and what you remember and how rusty you might feel with the game. If you feel like you come in and you're like, I have no flipping clue, then it could be beneficial to just start a whole brand new character, go through the tutorial, get reacclimated to like the basics of combat and flight again. So that way, when you go deeper into the universe, you won't struggle as hard. I had a friend that recently came back after a long period of time, and yeah, he was one time he was man, this is so slow to get from here to there. I'm like, did you hit full impulse? He's like, oh right. I mean, it is, sometimes we just forget the simplest of the, Also, if you've never completed the story, it is there's a lot of good story in this game, and I highly recommend you playing through it. If you've never completed it, just go into the journal and find out where you were and go to the next mission. Learn the next story bit. The missions, as long as you aren't in extremely hard difficulty, shouldn't be too big of a challenge to complete, and it'll also help you reacclimate to the game for ground and space combat. Because almost every mission, I think they have a little of everything. If you feel more up to it, you could even check it what the latest and grade, like what the current event is, and that also is in the journal, which we'll cover how to get to the journal here. I tend to hit J for just journal, because if you're not in there, you just hit J, it pops up, and there's the event tab. You can check what the current event is, and like this one has some TFOs. You could pick one of the TFOs and try it out. Normally the TFOs aren't super hard because they are normal difficulty. The patrols, that'll be just you if you want to try to go it yourself alone. Or sometimes there's missions involved that'll give you the current story of the game, like what's going on, and kind of get you back into that. The anniversary is a little special with having an additional thing of the mega particle. Those that have been around a long time, that might maybe like mini games, and that's a way to also kind of get used to flying around in the game again, because it'll require you to go to 3 locations and find particles and play the mini game. That's my tips on first things to look at, think about.
Are we ready?
Sure.
Okay, so since we're going back to basics here, we're going to talk about the heads-up display, because the HUD is going to be your everything in this game. So I started here in the middle of your screen with the ability bars, and actually mine are moved over slightly. Yours, if you're just starting out, will be a little bit more centered, but this is where you can put all of your abilities that you want to put down here. You can select how many bars you have showing up with this little button right here. You can pull up your list of all abilities with the top right button here, or you can just hit your P button on the keyboard. And then moving things around is actually just a simple drag and drop. So you just take the ability you want and put it wherever you want. And there you go. If you want to get rid of one, you right click it and drag it off. And you can move them around, or just click off in the screen somewhere and they'll vanish. But that's how you put stuff down there. But this will be your full list of abilities that you have unlocked, hit modules that you have equipped, and then any devices or companions that you might have. Now, companions you don't have to equip anywhere. As long as they're in your inventory, they'll be on this list. But your devices, in order to be on the list, you do have to have those equipped. Just to the left of your ability bar here is going to be your combat bar. These are the weapons that you have equipped. You can switch them with that button right here. And you can hide them with that button, although it's not really working. That's interesting. It made me sit down. That button's not supposed to do that. Let's see. Moving further to the left, you've got the chat box here. Now I'm going to spend just a minute on this. So you've got the line here where you type. Just to the right of that is this little gear button. Here's some options in here. The important one is the emotes. If you ever wanted to play with your emotes, this is going to be your full list. And you can unlock it so that it floats, and you can move that anywhere. This is very important during the summer event when the dance contest is going on, because you can extend this and make it so that all the dances are available at the same time. And then you just got to click on the one that you need.
Then you can do the snake.
Do the snake, this one?
Do note, like when you go into your available skills stuff and you're putting them on bars, one that will vary what you see. If you're on ground, it will only show you your ground abilities. If you're in space on a starship, it will show you all your space abilities. And your bars will also flip based on where you're at to the appropriate.
You're jumping ahead a little bit, Grebog.
Well, you were talking about the ability bars, so I was just like, they're going to notice that I have something different than what you have.
Because you're in space. I do have the space list down further. A lot of the stuff is going to be the same, but yeah, good points. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, the other buttons. So here you can switch between your fleet, your team. You can also do that just by doing /F or /P or /T or any of that stuff. There's also a voice button here. Mine is apparently set up to hit A to talk. I don't ever use that. We just use Discord.
Yeah,
And
I
this button
don't.
here is the options for the voice settings. Do what, Tabby?
Yeah, I don't know that anybody really uses in-game voice chats because traditionally they're not great.
Well, and STOs had issues when it first started. Across the top here, you'll have a few tabs. Now, I have added several on here. I think normally you just have chat and combat. And then this is the system. So for system notifications, it's that one. Chat is mostly everything. NPC is going to be your NPC and system, and combat is your combat log. Social and trade I added, and you do that by right-clicking on any of them and going over to channels. Or sorry, add new tab. I'm getting ahead of myself. Add new tab, and then you can customize those tabs by the name of it and what it shows. And you've got this whole list here. It's just a simple matter of clicking the ones that you want, like my social tab. That's all that's in there. It's basically teams, officer, match, anytime you're in a team.
I have a question for you all. In your
Ask away.
general chat window, are you in some weird, a bunch of DPS custom channels?
Yes. I don't know how.
I'm not.
They just kind of appeared one day.
I never noticed until tonight that I am somehow in all of them.
I am in 4 custom channels, and I know what all of them are, although trading doesn't really get used anymore. You can also customize colors of any channel that you want just by coming over here, and you can pick any of these colors to represent that channel. So there's a lot of customization in here if you want it. And then the individual channels, these are for your custom channels. And if you want to create your own channel that you and your friends can use, it's right here. But if you have been invited to one, this is where you're going to type the name in and then hit join. So, all right, moving up the side here, you've got your team, you've got your character and team menu. This button right here is your leave team. This is your display mode, which if it's highlighted, you can change it. This right here shows the difficulty that you're on. It's represented by white bars. 1 is normal. Yeah, 2 is advanced, 3 is elite. You can right click to do a bunch of different options, including kick from the team if you're the party leader. Squad leader and team leader. So if you set somebody to team leader, that puts them in charge of the entire team. They then have the power to invite, kick people, all that stuff. If you put somebody as squad leader, that makes it so that everybody else can match their level. So if you are running around with somebody who is much lower level than you, and you want to match their level or have anybody else in the group match their level, you want to set them as squad leader. In certain cases, you will also have this button, Warp to Friend, and it will basically transwarp you to wherever they are. I think in order for that to be highlighted, you have to have invited that person to play the game. I think. Yeah, because I don't have it on Tabby, but I do have it on Grebog. So there you go. From your own character screen, there's all sorts of options in here. The important one is leave team and change outfit. Change outfit is where you'll get your list of named outfits, and you can just switch between them at will. Let's see. The experience bar. That's this bar across the top of your screen. This little bar right here will be any experience point boost that you currently have active. That will be on this bar. You can do a drop down menu to get the full list. Oh wow, I must have invited you to the game all that time ago. This button here will give you a breakdown of the ranks and what each one gives you, and your current commendations, which you can also access from this button. But this bar is the important one. So the gray bar is your actual experience bar. There are 10 segments, and as it goes over here to the right, you get the maxed out, you gain a level. The gold bar is your mini segments, and there's 10 of those as well. So there's 10 little segments to fill up a silver bar, 10 silver bars to gain a level. That's where that comes from. All right, Tabby, I'm going to let you start us off on the mini map.
I'm going to move my bar down because right now they couldn't see any of that for the fact the way I have the UI or our stream set up. Here, the bar looks like what now is in the going across the middle of my screen. Just so you can
supersize my mini map for this demonstration. All right, so the mini map. All right, so you got a number of buttons here on the mini map. We're gonna start at the top and then left to right. So right up here in the little corner, you've got the time, and then along the top bar, you've got your current location. It says for me right here, it says Earth Space Dock number 8. The number 8 signifies your instance number that you're on. One of the things that makes STO great, and if you're used to something like WoW, STO lets you change the instance that you're on. So if you just click on that, hit change instance, you can see all the different Earth Space Dock instances. And like if your friends happen to be somewhere else on another instance, then you can just transfer to them, and you'll all be on the same map. So just as easy as just clicking on the little title bar of where you are and matching up where they are. Other than that, you've got the big display map, which is this. It's zoomable with your scroll mouse. You've also got the little plus and minus buttons right there, if you want to click it. And then along the right side, from top to bottom, your the little person looking icon. That's your character status. You click on that, you get your character window, which is normally accessed by the U button. And that pretty much that handles all your character stuff. Next one down is your inventory, normally accessed by the I button. You click on that, you got all your stuff. Don't mind my mess. And you can also
let me break in here real quick. I just want to talk about a couple things. So your character menu is, you have your character and your ship. You have your equipment on both of them, your kit modules. You also have access to your bridge officers, your traits, all this stuff, skills. So this is where you're going to do your leveling up and change of gear and all that kind of important stuff. And then on your inventory, this button right here, your assets, is going to be very important. This is where you come to refine your dilithium. And I just wanted to point that out. So when you'll acquire dilithium ore, you'll need to refine it to actually be able to use it to purchase stuff. And this button right here, you can do up to 8,000 per day. And it's that button. That's all I wanted.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Then your next button down is your mail. Your access to your in-game mail. You can manage your mailbox, delete messages. It should be noted that you can only pick up items from your mailbox, from your mail, from an actual mailbox.
Not accurate anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's not accurate anymore.
They fixed it.
Oh,
They changed it.
Well then, never mind then.
That was a Deca thing. They changed it when they first got into the picture.
Oh, holy crap!
Quality of life change.
Yeah. Well then, so you can send and receive mail. Now it should be noted that if you compose a message, you can send mail to yourself by just hitting your @ handle. And then if you send it to just an @ handle, it'll show up in the mailbox of like all the of a player's account rather than a specific character. So that's a fun little. Pretty much, it'll go to like. I haven't really played with the extent of that, but like I've noticed that it just like the mail. It'll show up in the mailbox of the first character that I log into. And I usually just claim it from there. And you can mail 5 items, but you can like trade a whole bunch. So like if you're going to be transferring items back and forth, it's usually best to trade, and you also can't mail credits. So if you're going to be transferring credits, there's that's another in-person thing rather than via mail. Mail is just mainly for messages. All right, next up is your social. So that is easy. Your hotkey for that is the O button. And you've under this one, you've got if you want to find a team, you've got that's your first tab here. I've actually never used this, so I have no idea how to use it. Find fleet. I've never used this one because like I've literally had a fleet since day one. Team settings like this one is just lets you. A lot of this stuff is kind of set automatically, but like if a setting gets messed up or you need to like change it from need or greed or loot threshold or the difficulty or anything like that, you can do that in the team settings. This is the one, like this is really the only tab that I use in the social panel ever, and that's the friends. All I care about is my friends. My friends are the most important thing. And so this is just where I invite my friends to groups. But you can also search for people. You can search for people by handle, and it'll find them. And I think it'll like find them anywhere in the game. I don't think it's just like limited to location. Yeah, Beta Quadrant, Wolf 359.
As long as they do not have them set as private.
Right. And you'll notice that like some people have some wild things and like wild formatting in their statuses. I will overcome and conquer all obstacles by mocking them. Okay.
I usually on my friends list, I usually put a little note about who they are or how I know them. Sometimes I put real names in there if they're real life friends. But like I've got Ixisamir down here so that like when he wants to join us, I can be like, that's who that is.
Yeah, I usually put like the common name for the friend.
I tend to do that on the fleet roster too, but we haven't gotten there yet.
All right, and let's see. Next up is the game menu. So so like if you need to rearrange your HUD, all that is here. You can pretty much move anything, anywhere, hide, resize, show, toggle, untoggle. Um, there's really not any recommend. Play around with it. Find something that you like, and
We could spend all day on that.
yeah, we could literally spend an entire show talking about rearranging the HUD. So, but I mean, just if you don't like where something is, play around with it, move it.
Or if you don't even want to see it, you can hide it completely.
Yeah, I like to move it.
Same with the options. Like, there's so much stuff in here. You're just going to have to play with it. We could do a whole episode on different options and bore
Yeah,
people to tears.
yeah, and chats. Oh, my chat box is hidden, and this is where you would hide, and like this is where you would like configure a lot of your chat windows and stuff.
That's
Uh,
the same that I showed,
yep.
where you can right click on the
Yeah, it's just
actual
another way
tab.
to get into that. Oh, and look, here's another way into the options menu. Woo! All right, let's get out of that and out of that. And then, of course, change character. Yeah, you can actually, change character, log out, and exit are actually 3 separate functions. If you hit log out, you'll just like log out of the game. And so if you hit log out where you want to change character, you'll just be sitting there like disappointed in yourself and wanting to and questioning your life choices.
Well, it logs you out, but leaves you at the like STO is still running, and you have to either log back in or close the game from there. So, which is why the next button is important. Which right below that, the log out is exit, which completely exits out of the game.
Yes.
Exit to desktop.
Then there's the help and support. And this is a great button. It's a little bit annoying because it will be blinking at you on every character until you click it. Even if you play through the content on a character, it will still continue to blink on every other character until you click through it on every character. But whenever there's new content, it'll blink green at you to let you know that there's new stuff. And it says what's new and unveiled, and it'll give you kind of a brief overview of what's of what they just released. New episode, 15th anniversary, new lore blogs. Oh wow, lore is writing blogs now, huh?
I mean, this is a kind of an Android cybernetics type of content.
But but in like the button on the bottom takes you to the previous one, and you can go to the previous one. And so if you've been out of the game for a while, you can just sit there and scroll back through what you've missed.
So, I have a quick question before you go on.
Yes.
We're about halfway through the information that we wanted to share. Grebog added a couple in chat that we can
That was
also
more
address
next
here.
time. Or
Well,
future.
that's what I was going to ask. Like, do you guys want to keep going, or should we stop here and go blow something up to highlight some of this and finish the rest later?
Well,
I think we should do a part 2.
Let's get to the mission log. We'll put the endeavors into the another thing.
Yes.
Okay, so we can talk about the mission log. That's fine.
Right.
So the bottom buttons and the left side will go over another time, except for this. You want to do it, or do you want me to take it, Tabby?
Go ahead and take it. I think you can get through it. I tend to ramble, so
Okay.
you go for it.
So the mission journal is this button right here on the lower left of the minimap. This is going to be one of the most important buttons for you to access when you're playing the game. This is your journal here. So you've got an overview. Your episode that it recommends will be right here. Usually that is the next one that you need to get done in the order that the game sees, but you don't have to follow that. There is a hail button here if you want to, or you can click the more button, which brings up the list. You can also go to the episodes tab. Same thing, more button, episodes tab. The event tab is another one that's really important. There is almost always an event going on in the game. This is where you will access the event. It'll name it and tell you everything that you need to know for that event. Like, I have not done my daily yet, and here's the stuff that you need for your daily. It requires 2 points per day right here. These are what give you 2 points. These are what give you 1 point. It's all right there. The event campaign is the year-long campaign, and the winter event has ended. Actually, it says winter event, but you can access the winter or summer event on this menu. You go to the event store, and summer or winter is both there. Episodes, though, is what Grebog really wanted to talk about. This is where people who are new to the game or returning to the game after a long hiatus may get a little confused. This is in order according to the storyline that the game is telling from top to bottom. And that's true even like when you pick one of these tabs, the missions here will also be in top to bottom order. And you can just pick whichever one you want. Usually you'll start at the very top tab at the very top mission. Welcome to Earth Star. Space Dock in this case is automatically picked up when you finish the tutorial. So Diplomatic Orders is actually the first mission that you'll do. There's sometimes a skip button here as well, but there's usually hail if it's your first time running it, and then replay if you're like running it a second time for rewards or practice or to remind yourself how to do something. That's where that comes into play. And then you just go down the list until you've got everything done and you've seen the whole story.
If you haven't
go ahead.
hit 65 on any of your tunes, you will not be able to skip. If you have no 65s. Once you hit 65 max level on one character, you'll be able to skip around and do whatever you want.
The only other thing that I guess there's two things I kind of want to talk about real quick. The first one is the available tab. Once you hit max level, the available tab will have some missions in here that you cannot get from the episodes tab. Things like the Cold War, Lost Dominion, and Spectres and Wasteland. This is where you're going to access those. I call them hidden episodes or hidden missions, but that's where they come from. And then the other thing is in the logs. If you want to do this, there is a way to write your own captain's log within the game. You come over here to the logs tab, go to captain's logs, hit new entry. You can put the start date down and write whatever you want to write. I used to do this all the time. I have kind of gotten out of practice, but here's an example.
Also, if you're curious on how old your character is, you can go to the captain's log, scroll to the bottom, and go to the Welcome to Star Trek Online and find out the date, and it will tell you the date you created this character.
I gotta check. Well, 4/4/2011 is when I made this character.
Okay, wait, where was it?
In the logs, captain's log, then the scroll to the bottom. There should be a Welcome to Star Trek Online. Now, yours, you might check, Nikodas, what your older one, like scroll further down, what some of those are, because they may predate. Okay. Well, I was just,
No, these are private ones that I wrote.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
some of that one is.
1/27/2018.
The thing is that Katis here is not my oldest character. He is my main. The character I had before him has actually been deleted. So I've been playing the game longer than that. Katis was made when the Cations were first available. Tells you how long ago that happened.
back in my day.
Right?
In my day.
All right, so we were gonna run your episode. I don't think we have time to run a whole episode, but we can show off some highlights here. So back to the tab here, Romulan Mystery. I am going to scroll down to Shadowplay. Is that the right one?
I just tried to share it.
I have accepted it.
And then what you'll see is on your tab right here, which is another thing we didn't get to, but this tab right here, the episode will show up, and then there's this little button next to it. This will take you to the start of that episode.
I just learned
That's
something
cool.
new about the in progress tab, and it's interesting.
Oh, do tell.
So if you go into the journal and go to the in progress tab, it shows if everyone's on the mission.
On a remote world, scientists
Nice.
are adapting Borg
What?
technology to suit their new needs. A
If you
Federation
go,
crew
because normally it says
caught in an
missions, but if you click
impossible
team,
situation fights to
it will
survive,
show all the details
but
like,
help may not
oh,
arrive in time.
some people can't do endeavors
Who
like
will
I
heed
can't.
their desperate call?
Um,
Oh, that
In
is
their anguish,
interesting.
the Romulans could cause a greater tragedy.
it has all the
than even
information
they
there.
imagine.
Okay, very cool. All right, so when you get to the mission location, a begin button will show up, and you're just going to click that to start the episode.
Are we level matching or anything or no?
We're just gonna
Oh,
watch
yeah.
me get wrecked.
Oh, okay. I'm cool with that.
I neglected to make you a squad leader.
I had level matching on, which might be the only thing that matters because I believe you both are max level, and it will try to pull me up.
It is that's important to note. It is typically better for the higher level players to match levels with the lowest level person. You can do it in reverse, and like their um, weapon damage and hull health and whatnot will be leveled up. But things like weapon slots, number of slots on the ship, will not be changed.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It's fine.
I am stuck on a loading screen
Same.
at a whole 4%. Oh, it just jumped to 30.
Now I'm loading 14 files. Oh no, patched.
There we go. Okay, and almost every mission will have an initial text box that opens up to give you a brief rundown of like an in-character orders, who you're talking to, what's going on, sort of
Actually,
thing.
I'm gonna level match. Since I don't think any enemies have spawned yet.
They have. They just haven't turned hostile yet. Like now.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Oh, and we're on advanced too. So there is that. Watch out for the exploding warbird.
Target's shields have
What you'll see is on your mini map, there's going to be a green marker. If it's on your map, it'll be a circle. If it's off to the side, it will be an arrow. That tells you where to fly. You can also pull up your big map and see the circle that way. That'll give you your next target to head towards. You can also press the V button to scan. Now that's not going to take you towards a mission target, but it might take you towards something interesting. Like in this case, it's a thing I can scan to get crafting material.
They tried to give us extra enemies to make things interesting. But
Yeah, well, I'm on Katis, so I'm like overpowered as hell.
I'm also on Tabby, and I'm
I'm so overpowered.
You will be once this character gets leveled up and you put a build on him.
I mean, I am running around with an immolating phaser lance on this ship, so
Well, there is that.
when
All right,
aren't you running around with an immolating phaser lance?
That gives a brief rundown here. I am supposed to work tomorrow, so I need to take off relatively quickly. However, I have a question for you two. I would
Yes.
like to get my daily done. Do you mind flipping over and kind of jumping out of this episode and running
I don't
one of
mind
the
at all.
TFOs with me?
sure, I'll flip off and
I'll
I
flip
did
you
not
off.
say that. Don't put words in my mouth. Of course, I'm on a loading screen again. Obviously,
all the
I have
loading
not
screens.
ran this mission for a while.
Oh,
All the
patching
loading-
files. I haven't been here in who knows how long. All right, beam up.
Beaming up.
That's another button that we didn't go over, the beam up button. Next
So
time.
yes, if you get in a mission, let's say you ran out of time. One, try to get to a map transfer point because that will save your location typically. When I come back here, you see it says continue choosing sides. I then can continue at that ground point. All right.
Are you wanting to switch characters, Grebog?
Yes, something that actually
be-
probably can do what you want to do. It's yeah. Oh hey, I'm at Nimbus.
Oh, hello, Alex. Alrighty then.
Oh, I should look at my captain's
I
log
don't
on
know
this
if
guy.
This is gonna work.
This guy is from January 9th, 2012.
Wow.
Do you guys want to do the ground one? Are your characters set up for that? That's the quickest one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wayun.
So here we're gonna do the event because events are fun, and the reward is pretty good. Yes, if you do not,
want to go home.
if you don't, like, try not to miss, like when they're giving away free chips and stuff. Try to get them. You may not, and whether you don't like the appearance or you don't like whatever about it, it may have a good trait. It may have a good console, and eventually you're gonna find out. Oh, I probably should have picked that up. Or, oh, I created this new captain, and I really want to fly. I would really have liked to flown that ship. Yeah.
And it's free.
Yeah. And
all you gotta do is play the game that you're playing anyway.
I'm hearing a lot of great things about this event ship. It's supposed to make an amazing tank.
I have heard some people say it is just as good as the Vengeance, if not better.
Thank you for coming.
Well, someone was saying that it might be one of the best tanks in the game right now. Or, well, tank platform. So, though they also have access to like all the gear stuff and things. So, you know. Oh, I got the wrong weapon. Wrong weapon.
Oh,
I was doing.
Actually.
Where's my Tommy gun?
Alright.
There's my Tommy gun.
Good luck.
All right, I guess I'm doing the knives.
The simulation is active. Prepare for combat.
Yes, Katis brought a knife to a gunfight.
You brought a knife to a. Well, more importantly, you brought a knife to a Borg fight.
Because it works.
Yep.
I'm just slinging lead.
I was gonna switch to the shotgun, but hey, this will work.
Also, if you have questions about the game, like let's say you are one of the returning players or new to the game and you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. fleetactionreport@gmail.com is a great way, or you can send like at real Grebog in game messages.
Send us your questions.
Send us your questions. Join our Discord and ask questions there.
You got questions, we got answers.
Ooh, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Yeah, now I'm showing my age. Oh, speaking
STL
of,
Shack.
I gotta say, that song you started singing right at the start, that was an old pull. But somewhat appropriate with the news that I just heard a couple days ago. They are bringing that series back.
Which one?
Buffy.
Oh, yeah.
I think we talked about this. This feels like vaguely familiar.
Yep. Actually, yeah. Actually, we talked about that like a couple weeks ago because we like talked about how thankful we were that Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it, and it's gonna have good writers and showrunners, and no Joss Whedon.
Yeah, we did. You're right. I remember that now. Nevertheless, the song "Where Do We Go From Here" was sung in the musical episode of Buffy the Vampire
Once
Slayer.
more with feeling.
Yeah, and that's exactly where my mind went once you started singing it.
Well, I mean, that's where
It's a great episode, by the way.
It was one of the best episodes of that entire series.
I gotta say though, there is a comment that is made in that episode that every time I watch it kind of irks me slightly. There is a point where Giles makes a comment about, "Ooh, a dancing demon, something isn't right there."
And yet that's what it ends up being.
Well, not only that, but they've met another singing and dancing demon, because at that point in time in the series, Angel is a thing. And there is a dancing, singing demon who is a major character in the Angel series.
Yeah, Lauren.
Yes. So every time he makes that comment, I'm like, but you know of a friendly, dancing, singing demon.
Nimoy, we're blowing stuff up, and then we're gonna wrap up.
Probably raid somebody, maybe.
One of your teammates is down.
We're almost
No, I'm
there.
not.
We're not.
Don't lie to them, Kamarki. I said one of our teammates is down.
Did you drop for a split second?
I dropped, but I used my paradox corrector to get back up.
I love that thing. Oh, hey, we got it.
One of your teammates is down.
Let's see if it'll hold me out of here. Yep. Oh, nope.
Don't stand in stuff, kitties.
Kind of hard to not stand and stuff when they pull you in.
Here, kitties.
I was momentarily assimilated.
Hey, there's some catnip over here.
I was assimilated just long enough for my Mud's time device to kick in. That's another little auto-reser that I love.
The simulation is complete. Well
All right.
done.
Well, that'll do it.
You may cease
you guys.
hostilities. Well, what if we don't want to?
I speak from experience when I say
Thank
that
you.
fighting the
I see.
Borg can
Leaving
be a
nap.
harrowing experience. You fought
All right,
well
guys.
despite
So are we gonna raid somebody?
Well, first, let's end this episode.
Oh, right. We should do that. Next week, are we going? You just want to continue on from here next week? We'll do the rest of the buttons.
Sure.
Okay. Next week, the rest of the buttons. Now you know the rest of the buttons. That's going to be our episode name.
Sure.
Monday
Talk
is
about
fun
dating
night.
yourself.
I know, right? Now I'm showing my age. Monday night is fun night. We will be here to blow stuff up. Information: I do work Monday and Tuesday this coming week, so I should be here, but I won't be able to stay all night. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
And as always, I will see you out there. Almost forgot my closing line.
Fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
Live long and prosper, everybody. Stick around. We will raid somebody. Computer. End program.